America has become completely unaffordable and
No, I'm crying because my Starbucks this morning was almost $10.
Because affordability will be dead. Like traveling now?
I'm so fucking tired of life. I can't afford to live here anymore.
But I feel like it's unfair that we had to grow up and become adults in the most unaffordable time in human history. Like, bro.
For millions of Americans, life become impossible to afford. Rising rent, endless bill, everyday expenses is trapping family into financial crisis. Check this clip out.
60% of Americans could not come up with $1,000 for an emergency. People do not have emergency funds. Almost 70% of Americans say that money is their primary source of anxiety. Buy now, pay later services like Klarna and Afterpay are on the rise. And people are using them primarily on Instacart and DoorDash for groceries. People are using payment plans for food. 1 in 4 Americans have saved nothing for retirement. Auto loan debt, so for cars, has reached an all-time high. It's at $1.3 trillion. Credit card debt is also at an all-time high. So when most Americans are sharing the same economic struggles, is it still just user error? Is the answer still work harder, or just budget, or pull yourself up by your bootstraps? Or can we actually listen to the trends and patterns for once and realize that this is entirely systemic?
America has become completely unaffordable, and I don't understand why more people aren't talking about this. Half of America doesn't even have a savings. Rent is insane, healthcare is a luxury, and somehow the narrative is still that people are bad with money. What money? So many people even have 2 or 3 jobs because that's what you need now. At what point do we stop blaming the behavior of the people and just accept the fact that the cost of living has outpaced reality? Because everything is this expensive, you have to know exactly where your money's going. A budget is simply just a necessity now. You have to have one. I started using an app called Mine, basically to help me budget and figure out where all of my money is actually going. It helps, but it doesn't make up for the fact that America is too expensive to even live in anymore. So let me tell you, if you're struggling, you're not alone.
Oh, you might think, I bet she's upset about something legit. No, I'm crying because my Starbucks this morning was almost $10. And I just can't afford it anymore. And that sucks.
So is it just me, or is everyone in Michigan doing like survival math 24/7? Like, okay, if I wait till Friday to get groceries, I can get gas today. Or if I don't turn the heat up too high, maybe my electric bill won't destroy me this month. Or my personal favorite, standing in line at the grocery store, calculating all of the different things in your cart and wondering which ones you have to put back. Like you're calculating prices per ounce, like you're studying for the SATs.
And I know a lot of people say this shit, but I just cannot believe that we had to become the adults in the most unaffordable period in human history. Like, why us though? Why us though, big bro? Why?
You know what's blowing me, bro? Things are so unaffordable right now that like we're gonna tell our kids about Spirit Airlines, for example. Like, yo, back in my day, you could get on a plane for like $30 or under $100 and go anywhere around the country for cheap because affordability will be dead. Like traveling now, like imagine what traveling is gonna be like in the next few years. It's probably gonna be a thing that people only do once in a lifetime. Like it's gonna be only reserved for like the rich. So when you take a kid on a vacation that you had to penny pinch and that you probably had to put on Klarna, they're gonna be like, what? $80? Like how old people or like our parents or like grandparents were telling us like you could get a whole apartment for like $200, or gas was literally like 50 cents at one point in time. Things are already unaffordable now, but it's if the trend continues, it's gonna be so much worse, bro.
I'm home, I'm dressed, I'm sitting on my couch, I'm not doing anything, I'm not going out because gas is $4 in Iowa. You're not dramatic, you're not trying hard enough. Gas is $4 in Iowa. You can't afford anything. That is the reality.
I'm so fucking tired of life. I can't afford to live here anymore. I can't afford to live here anymore. I just spent 6 hours of my life serving tables, running around to make $50. To make $50. And I already know the comments are going to be like, well, get a better job. I'm trying. I moved here 3 weeks ago. I've sent out over 100 resumes. I've had 1 interview. I didn't get the job. I knew I blew it. I did not get the job. I'm trying. The only reason why I got a server job is to make some money while I'm trying to get my big girl job again so I can get checks that actually matter, so I can make money I can actually live off of. But nobody calls. Nobody's calling for these jobs. Indeed is, we're hiring, or where? Okay, because I sent my resume and I can't afford anything. Okay, I live with my son and his roommates right now, and I'm very thankful for that, but I need my own place and I can't afford it. I can't afford anything. I cannot afford to live here anymore. And I can't take my own life. So what am I supposed to do?
Tell me why the fuck I gotta grow up at the perfect fucking time to witness the American fucking people go backwards in the scales of fucking progress. Genuinely backwards on a fucking scale. What we measured, backwards steps to a T. We're just saying, hey, fuck, okay, undo. Instead of amending or trying to fix or further, they just say gut it. They say fuck anyone's rights. I'm fucking insane. I'm angry. I'm angry that no one else is fucking angry. I'm gonna leave. I'm gonna fucking leave. I'm getting the fuck out of this fucked ass, racist, stupid, evil ass country. You can stay here and fucking rot. I don't care how. I will be a refugee. I will be the immigrants you despise so fucking much. Fuck this. Fuck you. The American people are fucking useless. We are doormats. We won't do shit. And I'm fucking mad. Have a good day. Hit the gym. I'm hitting the gym. I'm doing fucking something. Because I will prepare my body for what the fuck is to come. Have a good fucking evening.
Man, I know a lot of people say this, but I feel like it's unfair that we had to grow up and become adults in the most unaffordable time in human history. Like, bro, grocery bill too high, rent too high, bills in general too high, just your day-to-day activities too high. Like, bro, why gotta be us? Like, why, big bro?
Why would I try to save for a home or children right now? Am I going to be looking at my life when I'm like 50 or 60, finally purchasing my first home and thinking that it was worth spending all of my 20s having almost zero fun to save every dollar I have to buy this home? Am I going to look around at the wooden box around me and think that it was worth having zero life experiences because all I had to do was save money for this house? No. And I don't think most other people think that way either. Especially when I'm still going to be paying a mortgage that's basically the same as paying rent anyway. Oh, but it's an asset that'll increase in value over time. Increase in value over the 20 years left I have in my fucking lifespan? Like, no, I think I'm gonna drink this coffee and this beer and enjoy a concert with my friends or something with the little time I have left.
I live in Detroit, Michigan, and by the end of the month, I literally need $4,000, and I can't even afford that after 2 jobs. My rent in itself is $1,700 for the month. My electric bill is $300. Groceries for the month cost over $600. And now that I'm thinking about it, I literally didn't even factor in that gas costs $5 per gallon right now. I have to pay my phone bill, I have to pay the Wi-Fi bill, I have to pay for car insurance, I have to pay for my medical insurance. I literally rent a 1-bedroom apartment in Detroit. Why can't I afford to live off of 2 jobs? But yeah, Detroit is cheap, right?
And everything has gone expensive. Gas expensive, food expensive, hair expensive, makeup expensive, clothes, rent, shoes, insurance. Like, is there anything left for us that's affordable? Anything? And please, don't say healthcare, because y'all gonna make me laugh. Like, our generation has, like, nothing left that's affordable. Like, it's actually sad. Like, the only way you can have something affordable is if you move to Iowa. And none of us are doing that. So, I guess we gotta thug it out.
I honestly want to know, what's the end goal with the luxury buildings? What is the end goal? Because not just here in New York, Florida, Georgia, Texas, everyone is saying the same thing. No one can afford them. And people who are moving inside of them, they don't stay there that long. Most of these new buildings are made out of fucking paper. Paper. Not even construction paper, loose leaf, bitch. Like, I've seen so many videos of people showing water falling through the roofs in these buildings. Like, it's like, what's going on? Like, literally, this shit don't even happen in the old buildings. I mean, don't get me wrong, floods happen in old buildings, but not as much as it's happening in these new buildings. Like, it's just like, what the fuck is really going on? I feel like what's about to happen with these new buildings is what happened with the projects. Like, my mother always told me, like, the projects were initially meant for white people, but then black people started to move inside of them. And if you look at these new buildings, they have schools at the bottom of it. If you're from New York, you already know. It's like, are these the new P's? Like, what's going on? Like I honestly do feel like they have a plan to tear down all of the old buildings and start from fresh. I honestly do feel like that. They want to bring a new image to NYC, if that makes sense. I feel like that. They want to push out the low income and only have it for the rich. And they're going to have it in their vision. Oh no.
You worked 40 years and can't even afford a damn vacation? You're not alone. I get it. I'm right there with you. I worked my whole life. I'm Pam, retired mom and grandma, and I thought I was set for my retirement. I had plans to travel, but then insurance costs doubled, unexpected expenses hit, and I'm freaking stressed out. You work your whole life, give your life to the job, and now you're stuck at home, afraid to spend, watching cruise commercials from your recliner, seeing other people's beach vacation, thinking, wow, that must be nice. This isn't freedom. This is survival. But I've found a different way, and you need to see it. Comment yes, I would love to send it to you.
This is why a normal life now feels unaffordable. It's not luxury, not fancy holidays, no designer clothes, just normal life. Once you paid your bills, so you paid your rent, your mortgage, your food, your petrol, your transport costs, your parking, whatever they are, just try and take the kids somewhere out for the day and you're having to check your bank first. And this is what people are now struggling with. Around 2,000 to 2,500 a month, and most of it's already gone. And that's before life even starts. And that's why people are just feeling exhausted every time, because every decision costs something. Every shop feels expensive. Every bill just feels stressful. There's just no room for more. And people are working full time. Some people are working 2 jobs to get by and doing everything they're supposed to do, and they're still feeling stuck. And that's the part people are trying to explain.
Yo, I'm curious, what is some of the changes y'all had to make lately in order to just live, right? Because everything is skyrocketing. This is just one of the news, but a lot of Americans are saying things like, my life is not affordable and no one cares. 70% of Americans call cost of living issues their biggest economic problem. And y'all, as a tax pro, I hear people's stories all the time about why they had to get a gig job, why they had to get to start a business, why they started something. It's because these prices on everything are becoming astronomically insane. Like, we obviously see in our face things like the price of gas going up, but here and there, we also see these grocery prices going up. The cost of living, paying for rent is almost impossible in some places. People are starting to do more things like budget for your groceries, cut back on entertainment, don't drive as much, put any sort of medical treatment because of the cost on the back burner. Who wants to put their medical concerns on back burners? Y'all, we gotta start getting a little bit more creative out here because of the war, Strait of Hormuz, and they not opening the Strait of Hormuz for us and stuff like that. We gonna have to start growing stuff on our back balconies, our porches, and all the things. Budgeting a little bit tighter, because this is all true. We do have to do these things in order to get by nowadays. But I'm curious to know. I know my own experiences and what my clients tell me. What is some of the things that you had to cut back on or do in order to just start getting by?
I am extremely stressed out. I don't come on here and cry and do all of that. But what the fuck? I work 5 to 6 days out of the week, and I only barely have enough money to pay my bills. Somebody's gonna get on here and say, oh, well, be lucky you have a job, bro. Working a job, going to a job, getting up every morning, every night, whatever time you go, and having to give your all or do your best at this fucking job just for them not to compensate you enough money for you to live your life and pay your bills, it's actually really up fucking setting me. And I feel like I'm missing out on living life because I have to pay my bills and go to work every fucking day. Such a tiring process. Now, I could see if I was lazy, I wasn't getting up and I wasn't getting it, but it's like, bruh, how fucking hard do I have to work in order to fucking survive, bro? How? Once I pay my rent and my phone bill, my light bill, that's it. And then the next paycheck, because mind you, bi-weekly, you only get paid 2 times out of the month. So one paycheck goes directly towards bills. And then that other paycheck, I have to set bills. I have to set money aside for the next set of bills that are coming up. I can't get ahead. I can't. I know somebody's going to say, you've got it better than somebody else. Bro, that's not the fucking point. Just because I have it better than somebody else doesn't mean that I'm not fucking struggling over here. For real, for real. People try to come on here and try to perpetrate and make it seem like, oh yeah, I'm living this kind of life, I'm living that kind of life. Bitch, I'm a TikTok content creator, but I live a life just like y'all. And nobody better get on here and say you better get another job or do this or do that. Bitch, you think I haven't applied to these jobs? And when I apply to these jobs, they waste my fucking time. Do you think I have money and gas and energy to be wasting going back and forth to these job interviews who are not going to hire me and are going to tell me that they're going to call me in a week or going to call me back in a couple days and don't? Job market is a joke. I have no choice but to keep the job I have now. The one that's barely paying my fucking bills. It leaves me no money left over to live, to get my nails done. These are fucking press-ons. I can't do anything. I gotta do my own hair. I gotta do my own toes. I gotta do everything. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. But it's like when you don't have a choice and you work every fucking day, it gets tiring. It gets to a fucking point, bro.
You want to know what it feels like to be a truck driver in Trump's America? There you go. There you go. It just keeps going up and up and up and up and up. This was yesterday, by the way. You want to know what the total was? You want to know what I had to pay for one fill-up? That much. Over $800 for one fill-up. And I wasn't even empty. I still had a quarter tank of fuel left. I was just being smart about where I filled up, and I went to the cheapest possible place I could go, counting the discounts that I get for working with the carrier that I do. And if you think that these trucking companies are just going to eat that cost, the goal is to make a profit. I'm out here to make money to feed my family. I can't just eat that cost, which means the freight rates have to go up, which means that it costs more for the manufacturer to ship their goods to the store so that you can buy it. And which means, and the manufacturer's not going to eat that cost because their profits are too fucking precious. And we know the store isn't going to eat that cost because their profits are too fucking precious. So who do you think is going to end up paying the difference? I mean, you're already feeling it. Hell, the cost of the fuel in and of itself is a product of that system. But America first. And the screwed up thing is the other day, and I'm sure a lot of you saw this, he said, I don't think about American families. Yeah.
Hey, what's up, America? More than half of Americans can no longer pay their bills on time. A new study has revealed that 55% of Americans are struggling to pay their bills on time. No matter what their job is, no matter where they work, 55% of Americans are having a great deal of difficulty even making ends meet, let alone getting ahead or being able to do anything in life that they want. 55% of America is about to be underwater and unable to pay their fucking bills. That means that more than half of America is on the verge of being financially crippled. More than half the entire country has no way to fix their car, move anywhere, go on any vacation, even buy food for their family. And what's even more fucked up is that 39% of people say that they've had to move in order to find a place to survive, that they had to downsize their life against their will, even if they've been working and doing everything right. Affordability is such a problem right now that Americans are losing everything they have. And nobody gives a shit whatsoever. Not the government nor companies.
You younger generations are just so lazy. Nobody wants to work anymore. You're so entitled. Nobody wants to work. Like, no, Margaret, nobody wants to go work these fuck-ass jobs for the fuck-ass pay that we're getting in return these days. I don't know, man. Is it really that hard of a concept to grasp for all the older generations? Especially, you know, the boomers who went and fucked up our lives and made it impossible for us to get ahead financially, that we're ready to work. We're down to work hard, okay? But you know what we're not gonna do? We're not gonna overwork ourselves to death for like fucking $14 an hour. Especially because a majority of these jobs, especially since COVID, in order to maximize profits, they've been reducing the amount of workforce that every single one of these companies needs. So the people that they do hire, one person ends up doing the work that like 3 people should be doing, but they're not being paid for 3 people. They're still expected to do the work of 3 or 4 people, but only get paid $12 to $14 an hour. Yeah, that bullshit ain't happening anymore. In case you want to know how absolutely fucked this is, we're going to do a little bit of math, okay? If you are lucky enough to work a job that pays you $20 an hour, okay? That's 20. All right, remember back in the day when everybody was like, oh my God, like, could you imagine if we could work for $15 an hour? That would be so much helpful. So this is going to be based on $20 an hour. And if you were lucky enough that that $20 an hour job pays you full-time hours, meaning 80 hours a paycheck, your monthly net after taxes is roughly anywhere between $2,600 to $2,750 a month, okay? You got places out here charging $2,000 for rent. Explain to me how that's supposed to work when the federal fucking minimum wage is still technically $7.25 an hour. If $20 an hour full-time is not even close to allow you the ability to pay your own bills and live in a one-bedroom, or hell, even these days, maybe even a studio apartment, and then how do you expect anybody to want to go work a really physically and mentally draining job for like $12 an hour part-time? You must be out of your damn mind. That will then force you to have to go take on either another job or a side hustle or go drive for DoorDash or do whatever you got to do on the side just to be able to make ends meet. That's not even have enough to even have a little bit of a nest egg. No, you have to go take on additional work just to be able to keep your head above water. And to add insult to injury, you have all these financial or motivational gurus on social media saying things like, no, you just got to put in the work when you're done with your job. You got to come home and work on your dreams. Bitch, when do I have time at home to work on my dreams? Explain that to me, because from the moment I wake up, I have to leave my apartment, have to spend the entire fucking day working, to then come back home to have maybe enough time to shit, shower, shave, and go to sleep before having to wake up and do it all over again. Please explain to me where I have time to work on my own fucking dreams. This is why you're seeing so many videos of people talking about how there's no way this system can continue. There's no way we can continue to live in a system where the prices for literally everything keep skyrocketing and nobody is increasing the pay of our jobs. Eventually, this is gonna fucking just blow up in our faces. Because think about it, if every single company decided, you know what, it's time to pay everybody a wage that's gonna allow them to work one job, be able to work on their dreams, be able to own a home. So you know what, let's all start paying our people $30 an hour. All of these businesses are gonna collapse. They're gonna close. They're not gonna have the ability to pay these people those salaries, which means they're all gonna close down and the whole system fucking collapses. So it doesn't work. We are screwed. And I know it worked before, okay, because at one point in our country's history, one person in a family, okay, just one, not both parents, one parent could go work a fucking job for like 35, 40 hours a week, just one job, and be able to pay for a home with a car and be able to have 2 kids, and the mom could stay at home and could work on the home, and and the husband, or vice versa, whatever, if the woman wanted to go out and get the job, the dad could stay home. Like, there was a system that used to work for everybody, and somewhere along the line, these fucking evil fucking people decided, you know what? What if we just decided to screw everybody at the bottom, and all the rich people at the top can continue to take all the money? Listen, I'm not an economist, okay? And I'm not even saying that capitalism is a bad thing, okay? I'm making this video on an iPhone in my car after I just fucking, had a Red Bull from the store, okay? Capitalism clearly works when it's supposed to. I'm not going to come on here and advocate like, oh, we should push for fucking socialism. I'm just saying somewhere along the lines in American history, the capitalistic way of how we did things worked, but then some fucking corporate greedy fucks came along and were like, you know what if we fucking overworked people and underpaid them? Let's see how that works. So I don't know, dude. It is so easy for the older generations to say things like, you kids just don't want to work these days. You're so entitled. You don't want to work hard. That's all it is. And yet we're out here not even being able to afford basic fucking necessities to survive without working 2 to 3 jobs on the side, okay? It's clearly it's not our fault. There's something has to change here, okay? When you can make more money being a content creator or shaking your ass online or creating a fucking OF account, it's like it should tell you where we are at as a country and how the system is broken, that we need to be able to go do shit like that. I mean, like, I'm at a point where I'm gonna fucking make an OF for myself, okay? There's gotta be a market for a chubby dude like me. I don't know what I could do. Maybe wear a fucking ghost face mask, sit there and bop my baloney, do whatever I gotta do to be able to pay the bills, because that's where we're at, okay? We need to fix this shit because there's no, like, it's so fucked.